LeBron James loves to stretch the truth, right? Do you believe anything he says? Remember when he said that he reads books, that he's read The Godfather, that he watches The Godfather like 73 times?
He also knew Kobe was going to drop 81 before Kobe dropped 81.
Right. Like, they're all... None of them are so bad that it's like, oh my God. Like we're not talking about Brian Williams saying like I was in a helicopter that almost got hit by a bazooka in Afghanistan or Iraq. We're not quite there. But there's enough with LeBron James where you're like, well, why are you doing this? So the most recent example of LeBron stretching the truth, at least in my opinion, maybe he does actually do this, is when he talked about the music that he listens to while warming up.
I listen to all hip hop when I'm in the weight room, like DMX, crazy. Like I've been on some DMX lately in the weight room, and then when I leave the weight room, I gotta calm down, and that's when I'm listening to like more like old school jazz or R&B. Well, I listen to a lot of like Beethoven and too. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, like classical music too.
I could believe jazz. Sorry, I do not believe that he is listening on the regular to Beethoven. Now, maybe he has a classical music playlist on his Spotify or something like that. That could be the case. But the idea that LeBron James is regularly listening to Beethoven, Mozart, Tchaikovsky, Johann Sebastian Bach, like I'm not... And by the way, those are the only 4 names of composers I know, other than like John Williams and Hans Zimmer, like the movie guys.
That'd
from today.
Be great if he was like, I listened either smooth jazz or some composers like Hans Zimmer's Interstellar soundtrack.
If he said Hans Zimmer, I'd believe him. And if he said John Williams, I'd believe him. Beethoven? Huh?
You don't think he's in his Kia Sorento, driving home from practice, listening to this?
He definitely doesn't have a Kia either.
Oh, no, I saw in the commercials he has a Kia. He folds himself into it.
Look at another white lie with LeBron. Yeah, you know what? This would get me pretty pumped up. Not.
Is this why the Lakers suck? It's because he's listening to this?
No, he's playing well. Like, maybe he needs to let everybody else in.
Yeah, maybe Austin Reeves and Wyndon Gabriel need to listen to this.
Okay. What else do we have classical music-wise? Like, to get us pumped up. I'm assuming that was, like, Harald von Stubelwitz or something. I don't know.
Oh! No, I literally looked up Mozart, Beethoven, and I'm just playing the best of.
Yeah, this one.
Just the start of their best ofs on YouTube.
Yeah, this wouldn't get me pumped up either. This makes me feel like yelling at a waiter.
This makes me anxious.
Anxious? Interesting.
Yeah, I don't like this.
No, I feel like right now I'm hearing this. I'm dressed in a nice tux, and someone's brought out like the wrong wine. And I'm like, this only has an 83 points. You freaking poor. How dare you? Give me this.
This is a 1903. I want a 1907. My word.
Eric has a thought. 713-780-3776 on the most interactive sports talk show in Houston. What's going on, Eric?
Quick question. Exactly why can't LeBron be a classical music fan?
Why do you think that he listens to classical music on the regular before a basketball game? Like, why would he?
What is the reason he can't be?
I just have a hard time believing it.
Why?
Because of all the times that LeBron James has said something that wasn't true. He claims to read books all the time, and yet whenever he is seen with a picture of him reading a book, he is always on the first page of the book. This has happened multiple times. This is a guy in LeBron James who goes out of his way. Eric, pause, because you came in hostile. Eric, this is a guy who regularly is stretching the truth to a point where you can't actually believe him. So sorry, I don't believe LeBron James when he says that before a game he is listening to Beethoven. I just don't.
But what is the reason he can't be a classical music fan?
Where did I say he can't be a classical music fan? I don't buy into the idea that to get himself ready for a basketball game, he's listening to Johann Sebastian Bach.
would you have believed that Brady was listening to Bach before a game?
No.
Really? Why can't Tom Brady be a classical music fan?
I don't think any athlete actually listens to classical music before a game, because I don't think that gets you pumped up.
No athlete listens. Nobody that plays soccer, nobody that plays badminton. Nobody
badminton
listens to
definitely,
classical music before a
Badminton
game.
and tennis and golf, like the country club sports, 100%. Like that I can buy into. But no.
That is very narrow-minded thinking, sir.
Okay, Eric. Well, I mean, we're talking about a guy, LeBron James, who relies on the regular. We're talking about LeBron James.
Bye.
Thanks for contributing to the conversation, Eric. Why is he so mad?
Big Johann Sebastian Bach fan?
I think he's mad because he listens to classical music to get motivated. To get motivated when he goes into the fancy restaurant and yells at the waiter.
I have LeBron James talking about his favorite Godfather scene.
I really don't know. We could play that. I don't.
You want? I can play it.
Please,
he got asked
in
the 2016 finals
thank
about his
you.
favorite Godfather scene.
Because like, if you've listened to this show enough, you've heard me bring up like all the many times that LeBron James has lied. He was trying. See what he did there too with the Tom Brady thing. He was trying to make it about race, 100%. But whatever. Here's LeBron James talking about The Godfather.
So the quote you like more from the movie?
Oh, from The Godfather. It's too many different phrases and too many different lines in that movie to just categorize one.
Jesus!
But which is the one which inspires
He
you,
doesn't know one.
represents you more?
I mean, each movie is 9 hours long. I mean, what do you want me to do? I mean, there's so many. I don't know. I'll let you pick one, and I'll roll with it. It's a great trilogy.
Literally, there are so many pop culture references to things in that movie. Leave the gun, take the cannoli. I'm going to make him an offer you can't refuse. Literally the one that everyone makes all the time. We even talked about it yesterday.
And it's in the first like 25 minutes of the movie.
Seriously, all of it. All of this is early on. I'm sorry. I don't know how you don't remember any of those things. Unless you're just like so deep in your classical music that you've never had a chance to, I don't know, do anything of significance from a pop culture perspective. I don't know why Eric pissed me off like this. Like, what are you mad about, Eric? What are you mad about? You can text in. Like, I need to know. I don't understand this. Paul Galaccio, ESPN 97.5, 92.5. I have a hard time buying into the idea that LeBron James listens to Beethoven. I thought this would be an innocuous 2 to 3 minute conversation. But if you were listening in the last segment, caller Eric called in and I think was trying to imply that I'm a racist because I don't believe LeBron James listens to classical music. More so, Eric, I don't believe LeBron James when he says anything. I just don't. I think he stretches the truth a lot. And for no reason. That's the thing that's weird about LeBron. Like, he has no reason to make this stuff up. And yet he does. Saying that you listen to Beethoven while getting ready for a sport it's definitely one of those I am a classy individual flexes. Whether you're white, black, Asian, whatever. If you're saying that aloud, you are definitely trying to flex in some way, shape, or form. You believe yourself to be elegant.
I'm trying to think of a single athlete, like in the major sport, like because it feels like something J.J. Watt would say of like, sometimes it's going to be a violent game. On the way to the stadium, I want to relax. I want to listen to some Beethoven. Even that, I'd be like, no, you don't, J.J. Watt.
Thank you. You know what? See? Good. There have been times in the past with J.J. Watt where I've been like, really? No, I don't buy into that.
It's a real Rocky IV style log cabin.
And see,
5 bathrooms.
Rocky IV soundtrack, good soundtrack. So listening to Rocky IV soundtrack before a game, I could buy into that.
No, but J.J. Watt saying that his cabin in Wisconsin's like the Rocky IV cabin, and then you look at it, it went for like $2 million on Zillow.
Well, yeah, but that's what the real estate in Russia was, so you just don't understand.
Really, Siberia? It's getting gentrified.
There's gold mines there or something.
There's work camps there.
Yeah, they're pushing all the polar bears out. What do the polar bears do? Oh, I'm a bear. Like poor bear. He's got a cave. Anyway, look, he stretches the truth. I just don't believe him when he says that. Now, I will say, like, every now and then when I'm working out and I'm not listening to a podcast, which is normally what I do, but when I go to the gym, sometimes I have a movie music playlist. I'll even share it with you guys on Spotify if you guys want. I'll put it on Twitter later today. Akalon says, I have a movie music playlist that has a bunch of songs from movies that are like orchestral scores. They get me pumped up. But I'm sorry, with my limited knowledge of Beethoven, Mozart, Johann Sebastian Bach, and Tchaikovsky, I don't know that there's a lot of music that they play that's going to get me amped. Am I narrow-minded, as Eric suggested? Maybe, but Eric was trying to make this about race. So to continue to just pile on to Eric because your boy's petty and it's a Friday, so screw it. Who wants to talk about the Texans and Colts on Sunday? Good God, the game's going to suck. Here is a compilation that's 4 minutes. We're only going to play some of it of LeBron James, for whatever reason, not telling the truth.
Liverpool, how does that come about?
I read about the franchise and how amazing it is, and I actually made a trip over, to Liverpool as well and see all the sights and the arena and everything. So it was pretty unique.
Yeah, Crouchy is actually a Liverpool legend. He used to play there. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I knew that. I didn't get an opportunity to see him play when he was with the club, but I definitely knew. I definitely knew that.
Pause for a second. Okay, so LeBron's part of the Liverpool ownership group with I think Fenway, which is the group that owns the Red Sox too. Nothing wrong with admitting that you don't know the guy. Nothing wrong with it. You don't always have to be right. You don't always have to say that you know everything. Like, and again, this comes later in life. But LeBron is old. Like, if LeBron was 22 and saying this, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But come on. LeBron, you're LeBron. Like you don't need to continuously be aware of everything. Anyway, LeBron continues to cap, as the kids say.
Jordan Henderson just scored his first goal for England the other day. It was amazing to see. You a fan of his?
No, absolutely, and I saw a clip of that too. I didn't get an opportunity to actually see the game live, but I saw that he was able to score one in the match the other day, and I thought that was. It's pretty unique, the fact that he would do that and then also be with Liverpool Football Club.
You don't have to keep going, LeBron. You don't have to keep going.
I thought it was pretty unique.
Yeah, a goal. What a unique goal. Because they were scoring in a soccer match. More LeBron capping.
Whole game. I seen the whole game. I was at home watching the game, and I said he was going to. Before the game even started, when I seen, I said he was probably going to score 70 tonight.
This is when he was talking about Kobe Bryant.
Made me say that, and my friends was with me, and they was like, okay. So when he got to like 70, I was like, well, he might as well go for 80 now. So
wow.
I'm a fan of the game. And to see that performance was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
By the way, pause for a second. Kobe stands for the worst. I just wanted to say that. Anyway, more LeBron capping.
With it. It's a great trilogy.
Godfather.
You want to follow up? Yeah. So you're holding the autobiography of Malcolm X along with Alex Haley. I don't know how far you are into the book, but what's your biggest takeaway so far?
I kind of just started a couple days ago, but I've read and a lot of notes over the years. This is my first time actually reading it from start to finish. But just a very smart man. Very, very, very smart man. And basically, his words in the 60s and what was going on is actually what's going on today still.
Pause for a second, and look, I'm not going to act like I have great takeaways about Malcolm X, but I read that book, and that book was a great autobiography. Like, that's a hard book to put down, as far as books go.
Can I just say, like, this and the Godfather clip make me so uncomfortable
yes.
when he actually gets like asked about it and he has to like improvise.
He feels the need to always say something, and you know what? Maybe that's the burden of being a great athlete. But I think Michael Jordan would just be like, yeah, whatever. Or not read.
Because Jordan was like very like explicitly like, nope, don't care about any of this stuff other than basketball and baseball a little bit.
And by the way, there's nothing wrong with that, though he was shamed for that over the course of his career. And LeBron, I think, wants to be different, and I don't blame him for that.
Yeah, it's a noble thing he's trying to do.
This is a very image conscious man that will have pictures of him taken with like a book, and it's
He's holding the book in this clip.
Of course he is. Do we want to go further? I mean, look,
No,
I'm just trying to say to people who perhaps still believe LeBron at his word when he just casually throws out like, yeah, sometimes I listen to Beethoven and bleep. And I love how he throws the and bleep. Like, he's classy, but he's still cool
Also,
right after that.
Yeah. Also, when we talked about this, we shared this clip with each other last night. And Paul was like, Paul wanted to at first have me play classical music and guess composers. And then I was like, well, how many composers can you name? Or are you just going to guess the same two over and over?
Probably.
And then you sent me a Google result of famous composers.
Those are the only 4 I know. Like, legit. As far as, like, again, movie music, oh, boy. Give me Hans Zimmer, John Williams, because John Williams is Star Wars and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Zimmer did a bunch of things. Howard Shore did the Lord of the Rings soundtrack. That guy's fantastic. And look, I don't know who did this one, but if you've ever seen the movie Starship Troopers, the Klendathu drop is a bleeping banger. Sadly, it's not on Spotify anymore. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if they pulled Joe Rogan's on Spotify too. We need to get off. Like frickin' Neil Young. Thanks, Neil. I liked your music. Get back on. You didn't stop Joe Rogan. Just give up and get back on, okay? Thank you.